Hey, welcome to this new Grand Theft Auto video in which I'll show you more strange weapons, those weird weapons we can find all over the saga, the ones we found interesting and funny. In this video we will talk about 7 more weapons, but before the video starts, I would like to ask you to click on the like button in case you like it. So, here we go! Katana. It is one of the most legendary weapons of the saga, and even if it's not actually that strange, it's kind of peculiar to find this kind of sword in video games that take part in the modern times. It was featured in Grand Theft Auto Vice City for the first time, and it also appeared in San Andreas, Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories. This is quite a bloody weapon that produces a tremendous damage, but it's not very useful if our enemy is not close enough. Not always, but you must know that in some occasions you can actually cut a head off in one of the most gory moments that the game can offer. As a funny fact, this weapon was in GTA Advance before it was in GTA Vice City, but it lacks all the essence because of the angle of the camera, which is above us during the whole game. Broken Bottle. We can see this weapon for the first time in Grand Theft Auto 5, but only in the beach update. There is not much to explain, as it is just a broken bottle that can be used to attack other characters. It's dangerous enough to kill someone with one hit, just like the knife or any other hand-to-hand weapon from the game. Automatic Shotgun. Although it's not really a weird weapon, it is one of the best weapons we can find in the Grand Theft Auto saga, specifically in the Ballad of Gay Tony. It is directly based in the well-known 8812 that we can find in other video games, which is a very powerful weapon in real life. Yusuf Amir is the one who gives us this shotgun, and we can bring the chaos with it, not only causing a great damage in people, but it can also damage vehicles in the same way they do when they crash. It can be loaded with 2 different types of munitions, standard or explosive, being the explosive one the most dangerous. In fact, it's the only weapon in the whole saga that is able to be charged with 2 different kinds of munition. Pool cue. In the 4th place we have a quite peculiar weapon, because it's just the stick we used to play pool, but now we can attack with it as if it was a baseball bat. This so-called weapon makes its debut in GTA San Andreas.
Give me that.
It will be appearing later on, and it's quite easy to get by killing the people at the pool hall. It doesn't cause that much of a damage, but it's interesting to try to hit people with it. Pyrotechnic Launcher. This is one of the most colorful we can find in the saga, and we find it in Grand Theft Auto 5 for the first time. It's supposed to be used for fun, in a show or in an open-air performance, but it can also be used to cause chaos and burn people if you aim well. It was featured in the Independence Day update, and in spite of the fun it seems to bring, it doesn't cause much pain to other players. Chainsaw. One of the most beloved weapons for the GTA players, and also the bloodiest one. Even more than the katana. It appeared for the first time in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, but it was so successful that they brought it back in San Andreas, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, Chinatown Wars, and was also meant to be in GTA 5, as we can see in the game files. But for unknown reasons, it didn't make it. I'm sure you remember what you can do with it and what you cannot do with it, but basically we can murder anyone that comes close in a very cruel way. It is useless in long distance, obviously, but it's worth the effort to get closer and use it against the enemy. Remote Cannon. Although it is only featured in Grand Theft Auto 5 and it can only be used in one of the missions, it's one of the most powerful weapons of the game. We are talking about the Caída Libre mission, in which Martin Madrazo, Michael and Trevor have to shoot a plane down. For this matter, Michael has to go to the Galileo Observatory where there's a vehicle waiting for him, the Burrito Van, with a weapon inside of it. It is not like any other weapon of the saga. This is much more powerful. It has a wider range, and it's a weapon you cannot take with you. We have to damage the plane enough to bring it down, and if we aim right, we will only need 3 shots.
Give me a second.
Well, that was it. Those were another 7 great weapons from the saga. But before saying goodbye, I would like to ask you, which weapons would you want to be featured in the next episode? So that's it. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye. Builder. After an overwhelming popular request, this really weird weapon could possibly be number one of the weirdest weapons in the whole saga. It's not only because it's just what it is, but because there are several versions of it. The first one can be found out of the blue in Los Santos police office in GTA San Andreas. But there are more, like the vibrating one, from which we find a few versions in the files, and also in GTA 4 as a pickable object, GTA Liberty City Stories as a handler in the Domestobot that we talked about in the Weird Vehicles video chapter 3, and finally in GTA 5, although we cannot use it here because we find it in Michael's room where Amanda is using it.